Hello students, welcome to the English classroom. Let's start with the chapter The Earth is Not Ours, part 2, and we've already read part 1 and we have decided that Earth is ours. But it is not ours. We cannot own it. We cannot say that this is ours and we can use it howsoever we like. It's not like our pen or pencil that it is mine and I am going to use it. But it is ours for each and every person. For it was for those who were in the past, and it is for us, and it has to be for the future generations also. We have the earth, but it is not ours because it is for each person's, for all the people, for our future generations also. But we do not think in these terms, and we are using the resources, we are using the natural resources. What will happen if we use all the water? What will happen if the trees are cut? What will happen to the tiger if we do not save it? What will our future generations see if there is no tiger left? It has become an endangered species. We do not care for our environment. We do not care for the forests. We cut the trees for our own use. So there will be a loss of oxygen. There will be a loss of many things. How will our future generations stay alive? How will they sustain their life if such things are not taken care of? So this is the freedom what Kofi Annan was talking about. The freedom, one was freedom from want, that is freedom from the needs of food and clothing. Then the freedom from fear of wars, and then the freedom from how to sustain our life for the future generations. Now we see some pictures here, and then we are creating pollution. If we are going to leave the taps open and use water for ourselves, and there will be no clean drinking water for many people, hence. And there is lot of pollution around, there is lack of sanitation, then there's noise pollution. If we do not think about our future generations and go on using the fuels, water, and spoil our environment, what will happen? The future generations will curse us. So let's begin with the chapter The Earth is Not Ours, part 2. The author was Kofi Annan, born on April 8, 1938. He was a diplomat, the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations. He was the recipient of the 2001 Nobel Peace Prize. He died on 18th August 2018. Before we begin the rest of the chapter, let's quickly do some glossary. What is destruction? An action of causing damage to something. Unsustainable is not able to be maintained at the current rate. There are non-renewable energy resources like fossil fuels, coal, nuclear fuels also, and natural gas. If we do not take care of these things, there will not be any for our future generations. Forests, a large area covered with trees. Fisheries, a fishing ground or area where fish are caught. Diversity, a range of different things. Stewardship, supervising and organization. Supervising and organization, like the captain of a ship or the leader in an organization who takes you forward along with him or her. What is a treasure? Treasure, quantity of valuable objects. Like you see a jewelry box and there is a lot of things of value in the box, so that is a treasure. Heritage, heritage, property that may be inherited. The property which comes to you from your parents is inherited. What is pollution? It is contamination. It can be water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution. The earth is not ours. Let's recap of part 1. The chapter is an inaugural speech given by Mr. Kofi Annan, the then Secretary General of the UNESCO, at the 55th session of General Assembly in 2000. In this speech, Kofi Annan says that we live in a world that is interconnected as never before, one in which groups and individuals interact more and more freely across borders. It is globalization. Globalization is a new trend. It has its dangers as well as benefits. Its dangers are crime, narcotics, terrorism, disease, smuggling of weapons. The benefits of globalization are faster growth, higher living standards, and new opportunities. One problem is that at present these opportunities are far from being equally distributed. Kofi Annan groups global issues under 3 headings, each of which relate to a fundamental human freedom, that is freedom from want, freedom from fear, and freedom of future generations to sustain their lives on this planet. So this was what we did till now. Now we discussed what is the third fundamental freedom. It is the freedom of future generations to sustain their lives on this planet. How will they manage to live on this planet if we have not taken care of it properly? He says we are plundering our children's heritage to pay for our present unsustainable practices. We must preserve our forests, fisheries, and the diversity of living species. Like we were talking about the tiger and some other species which are endangered now. Endangered means which are at risk of being nowhere to be seen in the future. We'll only, if we don't care for them, they'll only be seen in movies or photos. So these are all close to collapsing under the pressure of human consumption and destruction. What a human being is doing for his own benefits, he is cutting trees, he is using the natural resources, he is using coal, fuels, other natural resources. In short, we need a new ethic of stewardship. There should be a new way which leads us to a sustainable world. We need regulations and incentives. With regulations and incentives, there should also be awareness. So to create awareness, for what things? We need regulations and also incentives so that each and every person is aware of what is going bad in our society. To discourage pollution, then we need regulations to and awareness for overconsumption of non-renewable resources. What are non-renewable? Which cannot be renewed. Once you use them, they're gone. So they cannot be renewed. And the third one is to encourage environment-friendly practices. What do you mean by environment-friendly? Which do not make the environment overburdened or which does not pollute the environment. So this is to encourage environment-friendly practices. An old African wisdom says that the earth is not ours. It is a treasure we hold in trust for our descendants. What are descendants? Our future generations. Our children who are yet to be born, and their children, and then their children. So we are there to hold in trust for our descendants the earth, the natural resources, so that they also enjoy what we have lived with. Those problems and the tasks affect the everyday lives of our peoples. Therefore, we have no right to destroy our children's heritage. We must preserve it with care, but we are just doing the opposite. When there will be no water, what will happen? You can look in the picture, first picture. There will be less food grains. There will be infertile lands. Then there is a lot of pollution. This is air pollution, you can see. We must preserve it with care. But we are just doing the opposite for our own selfish needs. In the end, Kofi Annan says that United Nations has a significant role to play to solve these problems. United Nations was founded in the name of we the peoples. So we must listen to them. They are telling us that our past achievements are not enough. We must do more and do it better. We should not say that we have done this, we have done that, but we have not to live on our past achievements. We have to do something more for our society, for our world, and we should do it in a better way. The third fundamental freedom is that not clearly identified under the United Nations Charter. Why? Now we'll read from the text. This is from the text because this charter was created in 1945. And at that time, we could scarcely imagine what would happen. How we have used our resources. So let's read from the text now. The third fundamental freedom is one that is not clearly identified in the United Nations Charter because in 1945 our founders could scarcely imagine that it would ever be threatened. I mean, the freedom of future generations to sustain their lives on this planet. Even now, many of us have not understood how seriously that freedom is threatened. If I could sum it up in one sentence, I should say we are plundering our children's heritage to pay for our present unsustainable practices. We must preserve our forests, fisheries, and the diversity of living species, all of which are close to collapsing under the pressure of human consumption and destruction. In short, we need a new ethic of stewardship. We need a much better informed public, and we need to take environmental costs and benefits fully into account in our economic policy decisions. We need regulations and incentives to discourage pollution and overconsumption of non-renewable resources. So here what we have to do is that we have to make our people aware of what is happening around us, how we can contain the bad effects of what man is doing. And so we need more accurate scientific data. Above all, we need to remember the old African wisdom which I learned as a child, that the earth is not ours. It is a treasure we hold in trust for our descendants. Those are the problems and the tasks which affect the everyday lives of our peoples. It is on how we handle them that the utility of the United Nations will be judged. If we lose sight of that point, the United Nations will have little or no role to play in the 21st century. Let us never forget that our organization was founded in the name of we, the peoples. We are at the service of the world's peoples, and we must listen to them. They are telling us that our past achievements are not enough. They are telling us we must do more and do it better. So this was the speech by Kofi Annan. But what is there in the last paragraph? I read it again. Let us never forget that our organization was founded in the name of we, the peoples. Here, students, you might find that it is written people. Usually we write person is a singular and people is a plural for that. But here we have peoples. That means people of different countries. That is the reason we have written here, we the people. We are at the service of world's peoples and we must listen to them. They are telling us that our past achievements are not enough. They are telling us we must do more and do it better, and it should all be for the benefit of all the people of the world. So let's start with the questions. We already did some questions about the fundamental freedoms from want and the fundamental freedom from fear. This is the third one. What is the third fundamental freedom? It is the freedom of future generations to sustain their lives on earth. How is the third fundamental freedom threatened? The third fundamental freedom is threatened because we are robbing the future generation of their share of natural resources to pay for our unsustainable practices. What is the old African wisdom that the author refers to? He refers to the wisdom that the earth is not ours, but we hold it in trust for the coming generations. What does the author tell us about globalization? What is globalization? It is the coming together of different cultures and economic systems around the world is called globalization. So, the coming together of different cultures and economic systems around the world is called globalization. But crimes, drugs, terrorism, diseases, and weapons are the dangers of globalization. The benefits of globalization are faster growth, higher living standards, and new opportunities. Opportunities from around the world. The overarching challenge of our times is to make globalization mean more than bigger markets. Not just consumable material, consumable goods are available from around the world, but it should mean more than just bigger markets. It should mean more facilities for n number of people, for all the people of the world. Explain the significance of the title of the lesson, The Earth is Not Ours. The title, Earth is Not Ours, means that it is not a personal property of anyone. We hold it in trust for the coming generations. We have no right to exploit it. We are robbing the future generation of their share of natural resources to pay for our unsustainable practices. We should remember that the earth is not ours. We should take steps to save the earth. Thus, the title also sounds a note of warning that if we don't take care of our earth now, it will be ours no longer. We have to own it to make it ours and to keep it sustainable for our future generations. We can say that it is not a personal property of any one person or any one country or any one race or ethnicity. We hold it in trust for the coming generations. We have to keep it as it is, or even improve on it, so that the coming generations can also live well on this planet, on this earth. We have no right to exploit it. ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਕੋਈ ਰਾਈਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰੀਏ, ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਦੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਹੀ ਬਦਲ ਜਾਣ. We are robbing the future generation of their share of natural resources. Natural resources is forests, then oil, then natural gas, then fuel or coal. So if we use these, or water, let's say, if we use them without taking care of it, we are plundering it. खत्म कर रहे हैं ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਫੋਰੈਸਟ ਕੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਕਿਉਂ ਕੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ? ਆਪਣੀ ਨੀਡ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਆਪਣੀ ਨੀਡ, ਸੈਲਫਿਸ਼ ਨੀਡਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਟ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਵੀ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਅਲਾਉਇੰਗ ਮੋਰ ਅਫੋਰੈਸਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਟਰੀਜ਼ ਲਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ, ਪਾਣੀ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਵੀ ਆਰ ਵੇਸਟਿੰਗ ਵਾਟਰ, we are polluting water through our industrial, though there is an industrial revolution, but still there is a lot of pollution. And what happens? We have to control those types of pollutions so that the water is not wasted. We use it. We've already read a chapter, Water, the True Elixir. In that we find that there is just 3% of water which can be used for drinking, and still that is also on the mountains, high up on the mountains. It is ice, it is frozen water. The rest is which we cannot drink, it is salt water. And in 1% of that water what we drink, if we pollute it, how are we going to sustain the earth or the natural resources for our future generations? We should remember that the earth is not ours. We should take steps to save the earth. So this title sounds a note of warning for us. we have to, what three things we have before us now? The three things before us are, we have to make the people aware, then we have to make the rules and regulations, and then we have to ensure that these are followed for the ultimate benefit of mankind. Let's do the next question. Write a paragraph on man and his environment. Environment pollution is the biggest problem being faced by the modern man. There was a time when we had fresh and pure air, but we are cutting down trees, polluting rivers, oceans, and other water resources. There is noise pollution also. We must stop all this. The smoke from the factories and vehicles should be checked. We must preserve our forests and environment. It is a treasure which we hold in trust for the coming generations. So, we have to take care that our rivers are not polluted, there is less noise pollution, and we do not pollute the air through the smoke from factories and vehicles. We must preserve our forests and environment because we get a lot many things from them. We get our wild animals and then other things from the forest. So we should plant more trees and use water judiciously. So this was our chapter where we have to follow the rules and regulations by the countries and the United Nations so that we improve on our things. And these photos have been taken from Google Co-in for educational purpose only, prepared by Arvind Kumar, lecturer in English, Government Girls Senior Secondary School, Saidowal Khurd. I am Anurag Sidhu, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Ramgarh Pudda, SAS Nagar. This is an initiative by Department of School Education, Punjab. Hope you have a nice day and enjoy your studies. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye-bye. Thank you once again.